Hello and welcome to the one-page, one-shot Cartel. I am GM Jim of Wizards and Wordslingers, and we are here today to play the Mimc Cafe. Let's first up introduce ourselves, not your characters, but just say who we are. We'll go around spin word. That means you, Brad.
I'm Brad Wolf from Diredan.
I'm Ryan Doyle from the Verdigris Table.
Oh, I'm okay. Sorry, I can't do things. I'm Angela. I'm an artist, and that's why I'm bad at everything.
I'm Mike from MBR.
And so we are the one-page, one-shot crew, and so we are playing the Mimc Cafe, which is an adventure that I wrote for 5e. There'll be a link down in the thing if you want to get it. But in the spirit of the one-page, one-shot club, we're not playing 5e rules. We're going to play this 5e adventure with a modified version of the rules for Roll for Shoes. And so I'm going to explain that right now. To do anything, you roll a d6, 1d6. Standard would be a normal difficulty, so it means a 4, 5, or 6, you succeed. On a hard difficulty, you need a 5 or 6. Most things would be normal difficulty. And if you roll a 6, or if you get all 6s if you're rolling more than one die, you can create a specialized skill, and thereafter roll 2d6 for that skill. For example, say you wanted to pick the lock on a door, you roll, and you get a 6. Now you write down a specialized skill called lock picking, and you roll 2d6 when attempting it next time. So you build your character based on what you're good at over the course of the game. And for every roll you fail, you get 1 XP. XP can be spent to add to rolls. And if there's PvP or combat, we'll probably do contested checks. Okay, so let me read us in here. This world is chaos and contradiction. Ivory towers and slums, rife with corruption, malice, and misuse. It is ever clawing upward towards zero. But this land is also kindness. It is people and trade and charity, booming flowers and bountiful harvests. And then there are adventurers, eager to grasp opportunities this land provides. You are adventurers. While attending the boisterous Wishing Tree Festival in the town of Braille, you met and decided to form into a party. Maybe you shared an Airbnb. And now you've been hired for some sort of vague yet very important mission south of the Valley of the Dead Gods. But even better is when you learn that along the route lies the fabled Mimc Cafe, a place you've heard about for years. Total bucket list item. And is there maybe time before the mission to squeeze in a visit? Maybe even an overnight stay? Oh, wow. Sure, why not? I mean, it's on the way. And then after days of slugging through the wilds, finally, now the path beckons to the Mimc Cafe.
Those were post-processed, by the way. That was, yeah, lots of editing budget here.
That's why this took 6 months to produce after we shot it. Long tail. So first up, I'd like everyone to go around and introduce your character, and then after you do that, roll a d6. So we'll start with you, Brad.
I am Cleve Stonefist, dwarven monk of the 4 elements. Cleve is a stout, well-built, red-headed dwarf who wears wispy blue and white clothing, and as he said, he studies the elemental ways of kung fu.
Cool. So if you want to roll a d6, this d6 is determined if you've heard any rumors about the Mimc Cafe. If you get a 6, you'll get a rumor.
I'm
Nope.
clueless.
You're just happy to be here. All right, so moving on. Ryan.
I am Terramaya, the human fighter, and I'm here to adventure and poke stuff. And I rolled a 1.
And that's
I'm
a
also
1.
just happy to be here.
Hello,
The
I'm
one-shot
Helen.
club.
I'm a bit shy. I've been studying the healing arts for quite some time now, and I have this quirk where every now and then I sneeze and turn invisible. It's very inconvenient. But yeah, I have no friends except for all of you. You've become my friends, and thank you so much for that. I'm going to roll now, and I'm going to do exceptionally well.
Oh,
me.
so close.
It was well for me.
And Mike.
I am Dr. Haribo, very much human, just like the rest of you adventurers. He's a plasmoid druid who has used some coloring dye. He has kind of a more fleshy tone in his full body. And in his head, he has these kind of like craft googly eyes and a mustache to also, just try to not scare anyone around him, make him seem like a normal person. He's wearing a little like kind of Boy Scout-esque or Forest Ranger vest with a bunch of like badges on it. That is like maybe he handcrafted himself just to make him seem more accredited.
Okay, roll a d6.
D6 roll. One shot club. Yeah.
Everyone except for Helen got a 1, right? I feel like I got to reward one of you. Helen, you get the clue because you're the only one who didn't roll a 1. So you have heard through the grapevine that there's some kind of illegal goods trafficking that is current, or at least in the past has happened at the Mimc Cafe. Some kind of shady black market stuff is happening there.
Okay. I'm going to keep it to myself.
As we approach the cafe, we'll switch over here into Albert. A sign above the entrance reads, "The Mimc Cafe, enter if you dare." The building is well made and looks cared for, 2 stories with manicured landscaping surrounding it. But the most interesting detail is that you see 2 front doors, side by side. You're here, what would you like to do?
Knock on the door? Not me, though. Someone else, please.
I'll look to the group and I say, not a very good business sign, if I do say so myself. It's not very welcoming. Who here dares to knock on the door?
I'll dare. I know this one. I walk up to the 2 doors. Which one of you is the liar?
Yes, excellent.
2 doors stand resolute.
Cleve just walks up to the one on the right and opens it.
All right, Cleve, as you approach the door on the right, you reach your hand out toward the handle, and all of a sudden the door starts to warp and bow and grow bigger, and all of a sudden you see teeth and purple pseudopods start to form in the door, and all of a sudden the door is a familiar creature. It's a mimic, but it's restrained. You can see ropes lashing the pseudopods to the door, and you can see corks like from wine bottles over each of the teeth. And as this mimic is going hung, hung, trying to snap at you, and you can hear the corks smacking together as it's fighting against the restraints. But this mimic that is the right door doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And after a few seconds, it sort of calms down and stops trying to fight against its restraints.
Well, that apparently is not the correct door.
Aha, but a very normal door, correct, other adventurers? Let's go find another way in.
Wait, I know this one. We're supposed to switch. Whichever one we chose, now we know which one it isn't. So now we take the other one because of Matt. And I open the left door.
All right.
I dare!
You open the left door into a hallway where you see stairs leading up. And you see, they're not very easy to see on this map, but there's a door here on the left and a door here on the right. There are several paper mache mimics hanging from the ceiling. And as you open the door and, start to go inside, they start jiggling around up there. And each one has a little price tag on it. And there's a sign next to the stairs that says, "Feel free to wander the grounds at your leisure, but please see your server for second floor access." Now, before we all go inside, I want to ask everybody, do you want to do all one big happy family, or do we want to do everyone in turns? Because there's a lot to see here.
As far as like exploring the place?
Right, yeah, we could just go.
I'm always down for just like one happy family. It makes my eyes a little bit smoother, but it's up to the rest of y'all too.
I support the happy family.
Okay, so no always in turns?
Well, I was going to go off on my own, but now I would feel like a total jerk if I did that. So I guess.
If you want to do that, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Anyone is welcome to go off on their own.
Ryan wants to pay us back for that.
I thrive on the chaos. I know you all too well now. I know what we're doing. Yeah, we can move as a group.
So as you go in, there are stairs up with the sign next to it saying not to go that way.
Cool.
And there's a door to the left and a door to the right.
I
Left.
take my pseudopod arm and clasp it onto Teramaya's shoulder. And I just say, I'm very, very lucky that we have our own riddle wizard. Success on the first one. Now for the second one. Which way, riddle wizard?
I'd push him left.
I heard a left from the audience.
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna go through the
sure.
left door.
I will. I look around. I admire the goat or sheep rug. It's very adorable. I eye it longingly. And I was like, all right, no, happy family. I dare. And I open the left door.
Okay, so yeah, so a note about tokens. Wherever you put your token on the map, I consider as canon.
Okay.
And everything that you see on the map is something you see in the world. But as you open the door into, boom, the main room, you enter the main dining room to see a cozy eating area with a few guests sipping drinks and eating meals. Others wander the room staring intently at various objects. And this woman, this is the halfling woman who's wearing an apron. She's got a little pencil behind her ear. She says, "Oh, come on in. It's okay. Come on in. Just grab a seat anywhere. I'll be with you as soon as I can. Also, feel
Second
free to
riddle
wander
success.
around." I'm sorry, sir. What'd you say?
Oh, no, sorry. I was whispering to my companion. I'm too loud. Thanks for welcoming us. We'll sit down in just a moment.
Oh, okay, sure.
I
just,
turn to Terramaya.
peek
and I
around
say,
the corner, and I'm
"Oh."
waiting for all of you to go in. I don't want to do it. I cannot be the first one through the door ever.
Oh, I am through the door. I will be through the door because we're friends now. I step
Yes.
bravely onto this apple tree floor mat.
Yeah, as you step through, you see there's some people are, excuse me, some people are drinking, some people are eating, and there's a few people who are sort of wandering around and kind of very carefully inspecting various things around the room, like sort of picking up the lids of barrels and looking at the bottoms of plates, sort of inspecting various things around the room. This woman comes over and she says, currently there are 4 detectable mimics in this room, tamed. They're completely tamed. They won't harm you. There are 4 in this room. If you find any of them, you can go speak to Grace at the bar and get a prize. But whenever you're ready to sit down, I'll come bring you drinks. So just let me know. Just give me a holler. Okay? You know, sorry. If you want to stay the night, I'm the one you talk to. Okay? If you need rooms, I'm the person you talk to. Okay?
I'll say, did they already say their name?
Francis?
Sure, Francis.
Okay, then I won't say what I was going to say.
Oh, no.
I looked back to Terramaya again. I'll just be like, all right, Riddle Master. Now's our chance to prove to the world exactly how powerful our group is.
I love prizes. I think this would be very, very fun. Can we go this way? And I start to walk off toward this group in the corner.
Sure.
Yes, gathering clues. Exactly. And then I'll walk over to the group next to the table and just say, where's the mimics?
You know, you got to look for him. I could tell you, but it'd kind of spoil the fun, wouldn't it?
Fun is a subjective term. I have more fun if I know the answer. Therefore, it's more fun for me if you just tell me the answer.
Okay. That's interesting. Why don't you let's do a die roll. Why don't you roll a persuasion against this NPC woman? See
Sure.
if she'll give you a clue.
2.
That is a 2, so she's not convinced, but you do get an XP.
Cool.
She just kind of says, "I'm gonna go back to my tea now," and sort of pivots away from you.
While he's doing that, I'm going to casually, and slowly, maybe too slowly, wander this way and see if I can eavesdrop on this table. See
Okay.
if they have any information to share about what I know about this place, or maybe clues about mimics.
Sure. Roll a check to eavesdrop. That's a 5, so that is a success. So you overhear these people talking about. This man is talking to these 2 women, and this man is clearly trying to get laid. He's bragging about his exploits out in the Valley of the Dead Gods and how he slayed an owlbear all by himself. And and these 2 women aren't really buying it. But he goes on and on. He's talking, and they're just sort of rolling their eyes at him. But then the 2 women sort of started having a side conversation just between the 2 of them, sort of ignoring this guy. And you can hear them talking. And one of them mentions to the other, "There's something weird about that dwarf at the bar. There's something about that guy. I don't like him." And she eyes over in this way, like toward the bar over here.
Okay. Cool. I will pretend there's nothing interesting and then kind of come back this way and whisper to Terramaya, I think that we should investigate the folks by the bar. And I point to the guys that you just circled out and say, I heard there's something weird about them.
Well, we've been in a tavern for 3 minutes, and I still haven't had a drink, so let's go to the bar. And I put down I'm very carefully examining the stool, and I'm going to put it down and head for the bar.
All right. So as you approach the bar, you see several characters around the bar. First, you see probably the most noticeable person is this guy right here, who appears to be some sort of undead creature stumbling around. Also has a towel slung over his shoulder and an apron, and he has a rack of dishes. And he sort of stumbles back this way and looks at you and says, "Oh, hello. Welcome to the Mimc Cafe. Would you like to hear a joke?"
I would love to.
"What is the best way to cure the hiccups?"
Tell me.
"The cold embrace of death." And he sort of wanders back behind the bar, starts cleaning out the cups. And also, there's just a couple of NPCs sitting around here. There's this short, swarthy dwarf sitting here who's just sitting next to a guy. And then there is a very tall tiefling woman behind the bar who is wearing kind of a captain's hat. Nods at you as you walk up.
Hey, Captain. 4 ales, please.
"Oh, sure, yeah, that's no problem. That would be just 1 silver apiece." And you guys have enough. You have enough petty cash to cover that for sure.
Sure. And I turn to this dwarf next to me. He's like, "Hey, do you know Cleve?"
"Sorry, pal. Do I know what?"
You know Cleve? He's a dwarf. All dwarfs know each other, right?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know nobody named Cleve. My name is Zaster. I'm a blacksmith. I run the best damn forge in the region.
Zaster? Zaster?
No, there's no way you heard of me.
I just assumed. I mean, with a name like that, you gotta... I'm Terramaya. Terry to my friends.
"Oh, Terry, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm Zaster."
I buy 1 more ale.
So you notice as you're chatting with Zaster, the guy sitting next to him is very uncomfortable with this. He's like got his head down. He's not making eye contact with you. Hella makes him even more uncomfortable by flanking him.
I just casually slide in next to him and I don't say anything.
Also, Cleve, as you're standing over here, you notice this woman, this elderly woman sitting at the table by herself. She has a cup of tea on the table next to her that's steaming, but she's just sort of staring off into space in this direction, and she has a hand up by her neck, sort of absentmindedly massaging her neck, just staring off into space, and this goes on for as long as you want to peep on her. She just seems to be sitting there, sort of massaging her neck, squeezing it, looking off into space.
All right. Well, Cleve has been slowly studying all these pieces of furniture and mugs as he's moving along this wall, eyeing them all very closely, and then slowly starts to turn away and then jumps back and try to scare it. See if it's a mimic.
All right, make a check to detect a mimic. A 3, that is a failure, so take an XP. Yeah, you're not getting any kind of response from anything in this area. Nothing seems to be... Nothing is a mimic, nothing's hiding.
And then I kind of slowly start moving towards her, like I'm going to walk by her. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I kind of just...
At her?
At her.
She barely even seems to notice. But one thing you do notice when you do that is out of the corner of your eye, you see Francis walking behind this woman, and she just sort of casually dips down and lifts something out of the woman's pocket and slips it into her pocket. But then because you go like that, she sort of jumps the last second. And then she scurries back around. But you clearly saw Francis steal something from that woman.
I was just about to clarify. So she just pickpocketed that woman.
Yeah. And then
All
you
right.
startled her, so she almost blew it.
Gotcha.
Damn, Francis is a hustler.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and like talk to the old woman.
Okay.
Kind of side-eyeing Francis, but trying to figure out what's wrong with this woman. So you're not a mimic?
No, I'm not a mimic, sir. My name is LaDonna. Is there some-
LaDonna.
Yeah, is there something I can help you with?
You just seem confused or perplexed or something. I thought I might, well, to be honest, I kind of assumed you were a mimic because you were looking so weird.
Oh, have I been... Well, I've always appreciated unsolicited feedback from strangers, and so I'll take that to heart. I know I keep forgetting to drink my tea. I've just been sitting here. It's got so much on my mind, but I appreciate the kindness of strangers.
Yeah, I didn't mean to offend you or anything.
Oh, no, always.
I know you humans have pretty thin skin. But yeah, is something vexing you?
So she sort of rambles a little bit. She doesn't answer your question, but you can see a few times she looks back toward this door over here. But she sort of rambles and doesn't give you anything really useful.
Gotcha. Can I what's my gut? Can I like insight
roll
check
gut?
this? Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll gut. 2. I don't know, take an XP, but
All right. So she's not a
hard to
mimic.
read. She's just definitely not a mimic, but she's just weird.
All right, then I'm gonna head over to the bar with my friends because it's been too long since I've had an ale.
Okay.
I'm just squeeze in next to Helen and kind of eyeball the guy.
Yeah, the guy is uncomfortable. His head's down. You can see he's got one leg, like 1 foot on his stool and 1 foot on the floor. Like he's just about to stand up, probably. What's everybody else doing?
I'm slowly just leaning closer and closer to this guy. Just vibe checking him, just listening in, really trying to hear, what Zaster and Terramaya have to say. It's very interesting.
Let's roll another listen check or a vibe check.
I want to just see if I can figure... I want to get
6.
under this guy's skin. I want to get a reaction out of him.
So you rolled a 6, so you get to create a sub skill. You could call it vibe check.
Yes.
You get a 2d6 on vibe checks going forward. But with your 6, you're trying specifically to learn about the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy clearly doesn't know anyone here except maybe Zaster.
Okay.
And he is clearly not here. He doesn't seem like a lodger. You don't see a key hanging. You don't see a room key hanging off his belt or anything like that. This guy is here for a short amount of time. He is subtly glancing at Zaster to kind of like get rid of these people. What are we doing? I don't want this attention.
I'm just going to kind of lean in and be like, I struggle with attention issues too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I can just tell. It really seems like you really want Zaster to pay attention to you. And I know that can be really hard, huh?
I don't, I'm gonna go look for mimics. Flashes eyes at Zaster like, what the? And he gets up and starts to walk away.
Oh my
And-
god, you too? I'm going to follow him.
Okay, so he's going over here and he's looking at the barrels in the corner. Now you can see the whole room.
And as I walk this way, I'm going to continue to eavesdrop. So as I walk by this table, I'll just slow a little bit to see if I can catch anything.
This table?
Yeah.
Where Dr. Haribo's right in that guy's ear.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that guy's currently just kind of looking up at Dr. Haribo like, can I help you?
Yeah, as I went from here, this table. Oh, you can't see my little dot thingy. How do I show
can,
that?
yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, we can.
Oh. I was at this little table. I walked this way. I don't know what this thing is in the middle, but I would definitely look at
It's like a stove, like an oven.
it. Okay.
There's a big wood
I would
pile
just
there.
kick it real fast to see if it reacts as a mimic and then walk to this table.
You kick the wood pile?
Kick the wood pile or the stove itself.
So
to-
Pick one.
as you kick it, roll a reflex check.
Okay. A 3.
The wood pile comes alive and turns into a mimic. And as you kick it, it chomps down on your foot. Now, because it has corked teeth, it's not able to puncture the skin, but it does crunch your foot. You don't have any like mechanical consequences, but you can decide how you want to roleplay that. Like it gives a good chomp on your foot.
I guess this will be in between the time when I very awkwardly sit down right next to the guy at a fully open table. I'll be over here, and whenever that actually happened, I'll just say out loud, "Riddle 1 of 3 is complete. Bear form," and I go into a brown bear and I just try to tackle it.
You're gonna attack the mimic?
Yeah, or just try to hold it down. Well,
it's restrained.
Oh, gotcha.
You can totally attack it if you want.
I'll just plasmoids are kind of amorphous, so I'll just try to make out of my my arms and my kind of like my stomach area, just make like a scoop and just try to scoop it up and then just awkwardly walk over to Francis and be like, I found it.
Well, as soon as you start to scoop it, you could see that it's part of the wood pile. It's also restrained to the giant stove behind it. So if you wanted to move it, you'd have to remove it from the restraints.
Gotcha. Then I'll look over to Cleve, and I'll say, "Strong one, come help, please." And I'll try to pull it at the same time before he gets over there, just in case I can just do it myself.
Okay. So as you start pulling on it, you see this the woman over here, the tall tiefling. She starts shouting, "Hey, no! Congratulations on finding it, but don't mess with it. No, those things are dangerous."
Oh, haha! I've won 1 of 3.
And as people all around the bar start turning and noticing that you've unveiled a mimic, and everyone, there's a nice little clap, and Captain Gray says, come get yourself a free ale whenever you're ready."
Absolutely.
For fighting the mimic. Good job, by the way. Really stellar job there.
Liquids are needed for bodies. That's
Yes,
all I
they
say.
are.
And then during that time, I would have sat down right next to this guy, and then y'all can do the whatever you were planning next.
Okay. So as you sit down next to the guy and he's looking up at you like, is your foot okay? It seemed to chomp your foot. And then Helena approaches. Helena, are you trying to engage with them, or are you trying to listen in?
I was gonna listen to see if I could get any clues based on his conversation, but since he's just uncovered a mimic, I'm gonna come take a look at his foot. I don't know.
Well, Helena, while you do that, Terramaya, what are you doing?
So Captain, the prize is free beer if you find a mimic.
Oh yeah, there are 3 more in this room to find. There are others, scattered around the property. Feel free to go search the courtyard if you like, although any upstairs would be in private quarters. Like my quarters is upstairs. Christoph, the owner, His quarters are upstairs, so those are all off limits. But any of the public areas on this first floor, feel free to go mimic hunting. They'll recommend that you do it by sight, not by touch, because, they can still get a pretty good chomp like your kind of jelly friend over there sort of discovered.
Yeah, he's a doctor. He'll be fine. Cool. And I take a dagger and I throw it into the stuffed head on the mantle over the fireplace to my right.
Throw it into the stuffed head. Okay. So roll a knife throw check.
That's
Is that cock?
Well, it says 6.
It says it's a 6, so
6.
we're going to go with 6, and you just happen to throw it right in the middle of the mimic that's hiding there. Whoosh, it goes, rah, rah. The boar's head kind of rocks on the wall, but of course it's tied in, and so it doesn't fall. But yeah, you got a new skill, knife throwing or ranged attacks,
I'm just writing,
I guess you could say.
I'm writing knives.
Fair, that'll work. We could do that.
I drain my mug, put it down. It's like, you can just refill this one.
That's very impressive what you did just there. That's quite impressive. We've never seen anybody get the one above the mantle with a knife before. You and your friends here adventurers, are ya?
Yeah, and apparently knives are like my thing.
Oh, hey, that's, it's great. We all discover ourselves along the journey, So, you're a knife guy. Maybe you didn't know that before. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the true experiences are inside us all along. And I start looking around the bar, drinking my free drink, looking for something else to throw a knife into.
Well, there are plenty of things to throw knives into. There's lots of art all along the walls, the heads of taxidermied animals, that sort of thing. As you're sitting there, you notice that Zaster turns around a couple times and sort of flashes his eyes at the guy. The guy comes back, and they have a quick whisper to each other, and then they both make to get up to leave. Cleve, I saw you move. Are you intending to stop them from leaving?
I was headed towards. I was going to go over to him once I saw Helen stop following him. So I was headed that direction.
Okay.
So when he turns around to come back, I kind of pause and I'm kind of stuck. Like I was trying to go over to him. Now he's coming over here. I feel awkward. So I'm just going to cast or use my monk ability, my swirling tornado leap.
Okay.
And just fly up in the air and land on this table right here and go, ah!
All right, let's make a swirling tornado leap check. And that is a 2.
Can I bump that with my experience up to a 4? Does that make it a success?
Sure, yeah. 4 will pass here. Yeah, okay, so you spend your 2 XP. What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Are you trying to find a mimic? Are you trying to scare someone?
Yeah, I'm kind of both.
Okay.
Kind of just kind of got in my head that this table must be a mimic because no one's sitting at it.
Sure, as you jump up on the table, do you want to describe your tornado ability to us?
Yeah, so there's like a gust of wind swirls around me, and then scoops me up, and I kind of walk on the wind, and then jump from the gust of wind onto the table.
Dope. You land down, plates rattling, cups rattling, but nothing breaks because you're precise. You're a monk. You land, no mimic, but everyone is looking up at you like, hey, dude, it's like brunch. Why aren't you jumping on tables?
I am standing with 2 knives in my hands, like ready to go. I've seen him do that before. I'm
I
like,
feel like that's a perfect time for me to start talking to this stranger I sat right next to and just be like, see that knife guy and that guy on the table? I'm part of their group. You're not a mimic, are you? Haha, I'm just joking. That's me breaking the ice humorously. Do you know anything about mimics in this room?
So, yeah, Zaster and the guy are very inconspicuously walking toward the door. Helena,
I've noticed, and I've started following as the doctor has started his next awkward conversation. I realize he's probably not really in that much need of my assistance, so I'm just gonna follow these two as if it's not weird.
Oh, so you like trying to keep your distance?
Not
Like you
too
don't want
much.
them to
No.
know?
No, I'm just gonna follow, like literally just start walking out in the same direction, and if they stop, I'll talk to them. And if not,
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep following.
They do not stop, so they continue walking through here, up the stairs. You're like 10 feet behind them. Right about here, I think they're going to stop and say, Zasha's going to look at you and go, can I help you?
Oh, yes. Hi. Well, I just thought that your friend and I had really bonded earlier, and I just wanted to see where he was going and also where the bathroom might be, because it wasn't in that room.
Oh, if you want to use the bathroom, I think most people just got to go outside near the tree. There's bathrooms upstairs if you're overnight guest, but you got to talk to Francis about that.
Yeah, no. We're fine. I'll just go up there and go to the bathroom upstairs in our room because we have one.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, that's incredible. I'm super happy for you.
Thanks. I noticed you guys are going that way too. What are you up to?
We are going to do things that are not for public knowledge. So
I've heard things like that happen here. Oh my gosh, that sounds so exciting. What are you gonna
Really?
do? Yes.
It's really just business. So I'm not really sure what else to tell you.
Well, I am all about business, and if you need an extra set of hands, I am a trained healer. I'm very good with my hands.
Is that right?
Mhm.
I really appreciate that. Maybe once
Got a
me
very
and
gentle touch.
is that so?
Mhm.
Well, maybe after me and my friend go up and conduct our business, then that could be some time where we could talk about
Oh, it's that
Reiki,
kind of business.
whatever.
The two of you. Oh, I am so sorry to intrude. I just thought you were going to do something illegal, and I wanted to participate. That's fine. You go ahead. You have fun.
Now, Zaster is kind of giving you the cold stare, but the guy is clearly spooked, like looking toward the exit.
Cool. I'm just gonna push a little harder, see if I can break him.
Okay.
Yeah. So wow. I just heard that this place attracted all sorts, and some pretty interesting types, and you two looked so interesting, and he and we really, I didn't get your name, sir, and I'm pointing to the guy. I'm Helena. I'm called Helen of the Gentle Palm. They always drop the A. It's really awkward, but maybe that's why they drop it. I don't know. What do you think? What's your name?
Helen, why don't you make an intimidation check?
Oh yeah, I'm very intimidating.
That is a 1. So, do you have enough XP to bump that up to a 4?
Nah, I've been pretty good so far.
Okay, so guy does not tell you his name, and he just looks at Zaster, and Zaster says, "If you'll please excuse us for just a couple minutes," and then
Well,
they
you know
go
where I'll be.
They go upstairs. Are you going to follow?
Yeah.
Really?
I'll slow down a bit. I'll just kind of like hover at the bottom of the stairs like I'm, not gonna follow them. And then as soon as they're up out of eyesight, I'm gonna try and creep up.
What kind of establishment is this?
After I hopped off the table, Cleve walks by this NPC and then the old lady, and with both of them, he's like, "Hey, that table's not a mimic. Just so you know." I say that to both of them as and then I was just kind of camping here by the door, eavesdropping, making sure Helena's okay.
So, Helen, as you come to the top of the stairs, you see Zaster and the guy disappear into a room over here. There's a doorway here, there's a doorway down here, and then there's a hallway down this way.
Sick. I'm gonna go get my party and let them know.
I'm going to get a traveler, ask the captain if they have to go mugs, and I'm going to go shout over to Doc talking to that guy awkwardly in the corner. Happy family. And
Sure, yeah, of course we can get a traveler mug, but sir, there is one thing you need to know. The mimics, their skin is covered in this gel sort of substance, And that blocks, because normally if they don't have that, you touch them, you get stuck. But we keep their skin covered in this sort of gel substance, so don't spill your beer on the Mimic, okay? Because then you wash off the gel, they get sticky, and then they're a big problem. They can break out of their restraints. It's a whole big deal. So just don't spill your beer, okay?
I appreciate that advice. Do you have like a lid? Good to
Oh
go?
yeah, of course. She
Okay,
hands you
great.
essentially like a water bottle full of beer.
Incredible. Let's go, Doc.
That felt like foreshadowing.
I look at
what
this
you will.
person that I've been sitting next to just say, well, you are a very unique individual here that doesn't look like anyone else I've seen in this vicinity. Real quick before I go, judging by the layout of this place, I've analyzed that every single barrel has a cup on it besides this one. Excuse me, miss, this is going to be loud. Whack! And I just like karate chop it real fast. And then I'll
Right
leave
here.
if nothing happens. Yeah.
Nothing happens. There is no
Okay.
Mimic there.
Deductions are important. As I like narrow my googly eyes at this lady that I didn't say anything to before, and then I walk away. Also getting my one to go beer, liquid, and then walking with Terramaya once he does.
Okay, Terramaya, so you're going over there too? Is everybody going upstairs?
Yeah, I know, and we've been adventuring together long enough that I want to follow. I had eyes on Cleve. Cleve's walking out. I'm walking out after Cleve. So 2 hands, Doc, as I hand him the beer.
Okay, so as you make your way over there, you see the undead person, Reth, goes along cleaning up after everyone. And then as you get toward the door, Francis, your server, comes running after you, and she says, wait. Do you guys need rooms? What are you just going to explore? I don't want to be pushy. They told me not to sell so hard, but if you need rooms, like there's 2 rooms available. There's room 12, 13, and 15. No, not 12. 12 is like a weird smell. 13 and 15. Those are the 2 rooms you want, not 12 though.
We'll take all 3. I'm gonna take out my coin purse.
13 and 15. Yeah, like I said, but 12, like there was like like a rat in the wall and it died and it's like stinky. You shouldn't take 12. Please don't take 12. 13 and 15, you guys will be fine.
I enjoy the smells of nature. I'll take 12.
See, Francis is getting very uncomfortable. Make a persuasion check.
2.
Yeah, Francis is like, yeah, really, I mean, if Mr. Kristoff were here, he would say, just best customer service. We shouldn't give you room 12. But 13 and 15, you can find the keys are on the hooks up there. Just go ahead and grab them.
Thank you. I will enjoy my beverage and then rest my tired, weary body. And I just kind of like stick my liquid in towards my stomach and just let it kind of like float.
Yeah.
I had Francis a couple gold pieces out of the dummy decoy, barely filled coin purse that I put back on my belt. I was like, it's impolite to stare when he's digesting, I guess is the word.
So, real quick, are all the keys on the hooks? Like, is the key for room 12 on the hook with the other 2 keys?
So as you come to the top of the stairs, you'll see there are a series of like little lock boxes. The lock boxes for room 14 and 11. They go 11 through 17. 16 and 17 are blocked off. It says staff quarters. And there are little log boxes for 12, 13, and 15. 11 and 14 are already taken. But the little lock boxes for 13 and 15 are like propped open as if they've been remotely opened.
When she said help yourself to the keys on the hooks, that was downstairs, right? So there were...
No, she's talking about there are keys on hooks, but they're in like little security blocks up here right along the wall. But 13 and 15 are open, like you could just take the keys right out.
I take 13 and 15 and I look at 12. I was like, you guys want to kill some rats? It'd be like just like old times back in Braille when we were, level 1.
Well, actually, so you know those guys that were at the bar that we were chatting with? I think they're up to no good. So I was kind of wondering, do you want to like, I don't know, maybe eavesdrop on them? And I could like, I pull out a scalpel and like a pair of needle nose looking pliers that are like surgical pliers, and I'm like, I could try and pick the lock while you listen.
Ah, pick the lock, my very suspicious healer. I thought you were going to do something much more dark. What kind of mystery are you thinking is afoot?
Well, I don't know. I tried to get involved with these two, but that guy that was at the bar, he was really nervous, and I don't think that blacksmith is like 100%, I don't know, good, like on the up and up.
Mm.
And, you know, I just thought it might be fun to possibly, I don't know, steal everything he owns if he's a good blacksmith. But also justice.
So they went into this room about 3 minutes ago.
Is there a number on that door?
Yes, it's 11.
That's 11. Okay.
13 is here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do.
And Mike, I will say, based on the stuff that I pulled out, you know that occasionally it could be for lockpicking, but I've used the scalpel for many other things.
Trying to analyze your class, Dr. Haribo is like, puts in his adventure journal, Paladin, Assassination Rogue, Multiclass. Gotcha. Riddle Knife Wizard. Do you think that rats are involved in this mystery?
I mean, I was just trying to have like a throwback kind of moment. But we can go. The guy's name is Disaster. He's clearly, yeah, he's either rich or evil, and I am morally ambiguous enough to not care that much. So yeah, if we want to burst open that door, okay.
Well, like we learned in Adventuring Academy, murder first, questions later, and loot.
If
I'm
you
drinking
guys
beer
want
through a
to do
straw.
that, because I'm never the first one in the room, I want to go to the lockbox and see if I can steal the number 12 key.
Yeah, make a lockpicking check.
Yep, I'm very adept at this.
It's impossible.
Didn't bring the right tools for the job. Okay.
Wait, okay. Are we doing the rat thing? Are we going Disaster and the Creep?
Disaster first, rats second. We got to figure out another way in.
Are we
Doc,
going
can
in
you
hot?
like goo through the door? I don't.
Yes.
I'm very familiar with your skill set, but I'm
like
slightly
other
buzzed.
normal human beings, I have many multitudes of skill sets that are very magic based and not just part of my physiology, like so. And I just turn into a goo to either go under the door if it's an inch space or whatever can.
Okay.
I tuck the mustache in behind him, just like make sure it goes with him.
They get squeezed
Dr.
out.
Dr. Haribo, make a door goo check.
Door goo check. Nice. My best skill.
Goo,
Yeah.
goo, door,
Six.
goo.
So you get a new sub skill for passing doors, sneaking through, or for
I'm very
doing
good at
yourself.
opening doors. One of the biggest hurdles in D&D games.
You're now the best in the party at it.
Cool.
So you squeeze through. Are you trying to like go all like under the door through the keyhole? Tell me how you want to do it.
If there is a keyhole that's big enough, sure, but I feel like a door like opening at the bottom might be a little bit bigger. I'd probably just do that so I could flatten out and retain my Google eyes and mustache, just like Ryan was saying.
Sure, of course.
I don't know how
guy's-
plasmoids actually sense things, but like I would love to do it in a way that wasn't super aggressive and maybe more stealth-like. Like if there's a right past the door, if there's like a little like stand of some kind to try to like sneak my way underneath that and just kind of like chill.
Gotcha. So with your 6, I'll say that you're able to sneak under the door stealthily enough that you can get the drop on them as you come in. But as you come in, you see Zaster and the guy in this room, and they're standing over a large chest right here.
Oh, so it's right in front of the door. Okay.
And the chest is up, and you see inside the chest there are a number of little glass bottles, maybe like this big, like 6 inches tall, 6 inches wide. And there are creatures inside each of these glass bottles where you look and you see that there are rows of the incredibly illegal sturges that
Illegal
are just
to own Sturgis?
illegal to own, illegal to trade, illegal to sell their body parts for food or anything. Incredibly illegal. Sturges are highly toxic. They infest areas and they just spread over and they become terrible infestations. And Zaster is holding one out to the guy, a bottle out to the guy, while the guy is preparing to dump a load of coins in his free hand. And
Cool.
they haven't seen you yet. What do you do?
As a park ranger druid,
You're well aware about how illegal in as a member of Fish and Wildlife.
Can I roll like a randomized to see if I like for my own like because I feel like he's kind of chaotic. Can I say that if it's 1 to 3, I go aggressive? Sure. If it's 4 to 6, I try to be more diplomatic.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I try to be more diplomatic. So I keep a cool head. Instantly, I know that this is a bad thing. I will try to attempt to, with whatever, thing that I have, to kind of reach my way over to the door with my pseudopod and just, if I can, just open it. Cool. But yeah, just like try to unlock if it's a deadbolt or whatever, and then just try to open the door for the rest of the group.
Sure. Make you're good at opening doors. I think you can roll 2d6 to open the door.
Cool. A 6 and a 1.
1 and a 6. You don't get to bump that up to 3d6, but it does count as a full success.
Cool.
So as you're unlocking the door out in the hallway, you guys notice everyone out in the hallway. You see LaDonna coming up the stairs, sort of looking around at everyone, clutching her shawl a little close. She's spacey, still not comfortable with everyone being here. She goes up past you. Excuse me. And she goes past you and then disappears off into the hallway. But sort of eyeing everyone and like kind of hugging the wall like she's trying to get to her room as quickly as possible. Dr. Haribo, you open the door and I think, well, you got a 6 on that, so you open the door super quiet. Cleve and Terramaya, you see the door start to creak open a little bit, and you look in and you see this deal going down and all these sturges, and you guys know how much these things suck. They're the worst. You'd rather fight a dragon.
So Cleve was actually headed out this window. This is the window to the outside, right?
Yeah, looking out that window, you can see down into... I'll reveal a little of that. You can see down into courtyard.
Okay, so I was going to use my my swirling tornado leap to jump out this window and parkour over to this window.
To what's the window you're trying to get to?
Right here on the other side of these guys. The window to their room.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Give me a parkour check.
Whirling tornado leap. There we go.
That's 4. That's good enough. Yeah, you land on there, and you're able to get around to where you see... is that a window? Sure. Yeah, I can't exactly tell, but yeah, we'll say that's a window. So you get around the window as you see the top of the chest lid and Zaster and the guy about to do this deal around the corner. And Helena, what are you doing?
So I went down the hall as I was waiting for them to figure out what they were doing, and I saw this book on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just kind of looking at it, and I wanted to see what it was. I imagine it's a guest book.
It's a journal. And is written by Christoph Black, the owner of the Mimc Cafe. And it's his notes. They go back years, detailing fights with dragons and giants, as well as romancing princesses and negotiating treaties. It's all incredibly self-important and exaggerated, and you get the feeling after a couple pages that probably maybe less than half of it is true. But make a knowledge check while you're reading the journal. It's a 6. You get a knowledge skill. So as you're reading it, you do come to one page that's very interesting. It's more like notes written in the corner, but it describes how to wrestle and tame a mimic.
Oh.
So now you have, if this were 5e, you would get advantage, but we're going to say you get 2d6 on taming or grappling or battling mimics from the notes of Christoph Black from his journal.
Okay. And now I'm going to take it looks like a little quill next to it with like a little feather.
Sure.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to run it under my nose until I sneeze and I go, and then I disappear.
Okay.
And I'm going to start creeping toward the rest of the party.
I'm going to mark you with a green thing there for invisible. So we'll say you can stay invisible until you do something that causes a lot of attention, like attack or something like that. So yeah, the door's open, so you're going in. Terramaya, what are you doing?
I'm going to lean out of this window.
Okay.
And stage whisper at Cleve. Cleve, that the woman that you were vibing at, she came up here. I think this is your shot, man. You got to shoot your shot. No, did I misread that? Oh shit, Sturges! And I burst through the door.
Okay, so now that we are entering what's probably combat, even though Dr. Haribo is trying to be diplomatic, we're going to go in initiative, and we'll just go top to bottom. We'll start with Brad, Ryan, Angie, Mike, and then me as the NPC. So we'll just go top to bottom initiative order. And so, Cleve, you're up first. What are you doing?
Is this window open or closed?
It is closed. Doesn't appear to be locked, but it's closed.
All right. So I'm going to use my swirling tornado leap to fling the door open and fling the window open.
Right.
And I'm going to say, assuming the window opens, I'm after I make my roll, I'm going to say, "Hold, you dastardly deed doing ne'er-do-wells."
You want to make an intimidation check? I'll say this is a hard difficulty.
All right, let's see. There you go.
No way. All right, you now get a skill for intimidating. So I will say that you clearly rattle the guy. The guy drops the gold and stumbles away. Fortunately for you, Zaster does not freak out and drop the Sturge bottle in his hand, because that would be bad news. But Zaster he sees you, and then he sees Terramaya and Helena and Dr. Haribo on the bed behind him. How the hell did you get there? There's people all around him, so he sort of stumbles around just for a second, looking around. And then now, Terramaya, you're up.
Zaster, I bought you a beer. We're bros now. Put down the Sturge so I can light all of them on fire. And I start taking a torch out of my backpack.
No, what are you crazy? You have any idea how much these things cost? You don't understand, the profit margins on these things are insane. So you're going to try to set fire to the Sturges?
I mean, sure, yeah.
They're in glass bottles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna try to cook them. I'm gonna try to sous vide a Sturge.
Okay, so make a fire check. Make a
Please be good at fire.
Check.
Ooh, doesn't. Yeah, does. They're
you have
jar,
XP?
doesn't. I don't. I did one thing, and it's knives, and I'm awesome at knives.
Terramaya, he was so good at knives.
Failure.
All right, so yeah, you start trying to burn it, and the chest is wooden, so it starts to cinder and smoke, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything to the Sturges. All right, Helena, you're up. What would you like to do? You're invisible.
Yeah. So Zaster still has one of the Sturges in his hand.
Yeah, he's holding it.
All right. I want to see if I can pluck it out of his hand.
Okay. Make a theft check.
Oh, I got XP.
Yeah, just as you... Oh, you were going to spend XP?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend XP. I gotta make this work.
Okay. All right, so you reach out just as you're about to grab it, it seems like he's just naturally about to turn away, but then you compensate and you snatch it and pull it away from him. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I want to dash backward and out of his reach.
All right, he's going to try to swipe at you as you go away. I think we are going to have opportunity attacks here.
Yeah.
So he's going to roll a d6. And that's a 5.
Yeah.
What did you get?
Oh, right. I didn't realize I rolled a 2. A 2.
Yeah, so as you turn, he goes, yeah, I don't think so. And he trips you and you smack and so you're on the ground. So you're only able to get right here.
Okay.
The scourge goes ping, ping, stumbles out of your hand, falls into the ground, skittering. We'll say it's this one. It skitters over onto the ground over here. Doesn't break, but it does get a nice crack in it when it bumps up against the wall.
Oh,
So
God.
this one is, we'll say this one is in the yellow. It's in danger. And then, Dr. Haribo, what would you like to do?
I like to think that I pretty consistently ritually cast Speak with Humans on myself regularly. Whoever asks me looks at me on the bed like, when did you get here? And I respond, well, I've been here to try to find my children. And I move towards them and I shapeshift into a large sturge.
Okay.
And I'm trying to just like, this guy seems obviously super scared of the sturges and stuff like that. And so my aim is to like, just try to also help with the intimidation factor.
To intimidate the guy? Sure, go ahead and roll.
A 6.
A 6. Everybody's getting really good at intimidating.
Is that make it a 2 or is that up because it's my third skill? Does that mean it's a 3?
Each skill is its own
Gotcha.
progression chain. That makes sense?
I see now. Cool.
Yeah, so next time you roll and you intimidate, you roll 2d6 and you'll need to get double sixes to bump that to a 3.
Understood.
Yeah, this guy is pissing his pants. He's a complete non-factor. He is just cowering in the corner, saying, I should have listened to my mom and spent that money on seeds and grain at the market instead of trying to flip a sturge to try to make a little money. And
so I shapeshift into a large sturge, and my voice kind of changes, like, we are dangerous, and I'm just like saying just kind of violent stuff, like,
Jesus,
not actually attacking.
Okay, so now it's Zaster's turn. So the guy is completely a non-factor. He is peeing his pants. What is Zaster gonna do? Zaster recognizes that he's outnumbered, but this is his livelihood. So he is going to pull a knife out of his shirt, look down at Helen and say, get out of here or you're dead. You have no idea who you're messing with. You have no idea whose money you're messing with. And he's going to attempt to stab you, Helena.
Sick.
With my d6. So he gets only a 1. So you very easily dodge out of the way. And he is going to try to start scooping up as many of the sturges as he can. Because the chest is now smoking and smoldering and starting to burn a little bit. But then we are back to Cleve. What would you like to do?
So Cleve sticks his head in the window and says, angry dragon breath! And just breathes fire.
Great. Roll dragon breath.
Following Teramaya's lead to set these sturges on fire.
Yes.
With a 5, your breath completely incinerates this sturge. The 2 closest to you, boosh, boosh. The glass goes boosh, and the shrapnel eviscerates the sturges inside. And Zaster just gets cooked.
You hear Dr. Haribo let out a little, no, motioning towards the sturges.
And so there are still half a dozen in good shape and 1 that is very broken. But that's combat.
Sees you as a giant sturge and doesn't do anything about you. He's like, yeah, whatever.
The guy over here is saying, oh, please, oh shit, you don't have to kill him. I didn't see your faces good. I can't. Just let me go. I swear I'll go get those seeds. If you let me pick up my gold, I'll get the seeds and I'll go back to my mom's house and I'll plant it and I'll do all that stuff and I'll keep my room clean like I said I would. Just let me go, please.
I creep in very closely, face getting really close to this person. Where's the mimic?
I don't know, man. I don't think there's one in here. I've been in here as long as you have. I just came in here to buy the thing. I got some people back in Kila that are interested, but it's probably bad.
Oh, it seems you have lost liquid. Here, let me replenish you, and I'll take the second beer I have, give it to him. Staring down at his pants.
Now you're his friend?
And I start trying to put out the fire, first of all, so this place doesn't light up with like a shape water or conjure water type of thing. And let my companions know, just like, as a forest park ranger, I cannot condone the murdering of, even if there are dangerous animals, held in captivity and then killed. I will find a place eventually to release these back into the wild. So I'm attempting to stop the fire and then carefully scoop them up. Maybe even just put them in my body so they're just kind of floating around.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can put out the fire. It's no trouble.
Are you sure about this?
Ha. Yes, fellow adventurer. I am a master, just like we have our riddle wizard. I am an animal wizard. I know how to do these things.
So are you going to absorb them, glass bottle and all, into your plasmoid form?
Yeah.
All right.
Just
you start
floating
picking
around.
up the sturges. And you suck them all into you, and the sturges are now gone.
All right, Doc. No more limbo, okay?
Absolutely. Now I'm a ticking time bomb.
You can feel them kind of buzzing around in there.
You were always a ticking time bomb in my eyes.
Haha. Thank you, I think.
Everyone now sees Francis, your server, coming up the stairs. She gets to the top of the stairs and she's kind of looking suspiciously over there at the open door number 11. She nods at you, Terramaya, as she walks by.
Hey, did you change your mind about the whole rat thing? We could take care of that for you.
Really, it's fine. If you want that room on the end, the big room, it's fine. I don't know if that guy is even going to stay here tonight. If you guys want that room, I know it's got a bunch of beds in it. Why don't you just take that one? Excuse me now.
No, this guy pissed in here.
Oh, well, that's gross. I'm sorry about that. 13 to 15. Those are your rooms. And then she runs around the corner.
Hearing converse, I try to help with the deceiving factor if there is any. I just walk near Terramine and just say, "Oh yes, it doesn't seem like there's mimics in there."
I slowly take a step back. I take a 5-foot step back.
So is everybody leaving the room?
I'm kind of like guarding, trying to, because you're more of the talker and knowledge, I feel like, in this point.
I'm gonna inspect the body of Zaster.
Sure, make a body inspection check.
He's got a T-shirt that says "Body Inspector."
He's got bills of sale, scribbled notes of other illegal animals, a lot of sea animals, a lot of fish are highly illegal to trade. He's got notes about that. A lot of it is written in sort of code and sort of some clues maybe to the locations of other stashes of these sorts of animals.
I say, hey, Doc. This appears to be your smuggling ring. Maybe we should investigate that later.
I have a smuggling ring? Sorry, what?
No, this guy seems to be a smuggler. I figured you, as our resident park ranger, would want to deal with this illegal animal smuggling ring that this guy's apparently a part of.
Yes, all of us officially ordained park rangers know exactly of groups like such, and I too need to be in the knowledge of this. Let me look over this information that you have. I passed by as I'm passing. Well, when I was in the hallway, I would have leaned to Terramaya, and I just say, "Riddle, riddle, knife, fire, wizard, Terramaya. We could take out two birds with one stone. The rats. We could use one of these animals that I procured as a weapon and just toss it in there, like a cat eating mice, except the cat is of dangerous scourge."
Okay, I'm with you. First of all, Terry. Doc, we've been
Terry.
over. You can call me Terry. Yes, but then we need something to kill. Do we kill the scourge, or do we acquire some other animal to eat the scourge?
We could find a mimic to eat the scourge.
I love this plan. Let's go.
Cool.
I
I'll
remember.
even, offer to hand him one of the bottles if he'll take it.
Is it inside of you, or I will not reach inside your goo?
No, I grab it out of me and hold it over towards you because I have 6 inside of my body.
You should hand him the one that's slightly broken.
Sure.
I will bear that cross. I take the scourge, I guess, and your gooey, busted scourge bottle and
The
add it to my
dangerous
inventory.
bottle.
Perfect.
Yes.
I've heard of this gambit. It's called the woman that swallowed a fly.
I've done that before. Anyways, I'll look over the info that he's. You said it was info that you found, like a.
Yeah, it's like scribbled notes and bills of sale and information about other exotic, mostly fish, but other exotic animals that could be sold on the black market. Apparently,
Absolutely scoop that up and give it a once over.
These amateurs were taking notes on a criminal conspiracy. Ugh. And I start walking towards 12.
As you guys
sh-
are leaving the room, I'm just going to casually cut off a leftover limb from our dead guy on the floor.
Oh dear
Okay.
God!
Just going to take a hand,
Okay.
one that's not crispy, preferably.
Yeah, the one
Um,
is less crispy than the other.
Good. As long as it's in good working condition, maybe could be reanimated. Don't know why.
Sure.
And I'm going to turn at Guy, who I stare dead in the face the entire time I'm cutting off this hand. And then when I'm done, I pick it up and I wave it at him. And then I just caress his cheek with it and I go, "Do better." And I smile and trot out of the room as I tuck the hand into a little bag of holding.
Oh God, I feel like I need to roll a sanity check for Guy here. I'm gonna roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, it's gonna be bad. That's 5. He's all right. He's just still peeing his pants, but he's not gonna try to jump through the window, which is what I was gonna have him do.
And then I'll just follow her up with, that's our healer. So just think about what the rest of us do.
Oh,
Anyways,
God.
don't steal any more animals. Bye.
Yeah, Guy's gonna stay put for a little while.
I got kicked out of medical school for a reason. You all know that.
Do we?
As you go out into the hallway, you can see the numbers on the rooms. You see 13 here, 14 here, and then if you go down to the hallway, you'd see 15 and 12.
both of the women went down this hallway here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you get to there, you see the door to 12 is ajar slightly.
So you were vibing her, I say, as I sneak up behind you.
I try to creep up there stealthily and peek or listen in.
Sure, Cleve, let me delete this. As you look in the door, you see Francis over in the corner, bent down, lifting up the edge of a floorboard. And then make a stealth check to see if she hears you. She turns and looks up at you. Oh my God! And she quickly drops the floorboard, and snaps back into place. Smack! And she stands up. The hands are in front of her. Oh my God. What are you doing here? What did you see?
I just wanted to warn you. I'm pretty sure the lady downstairs knows you picked her pocket.
Oh, you saw that, did you?
Yeah, what you doing with the floorboard there?
Nothing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where'd the old woman go?
Oh, the guest LaDonna?
Didn't she followed you in here, didn't she? What are y'all up to?
She's got her own room. She hasn't been in here with me.
You selling illegal stuff too?
What? No. You see, she's kind of shuffling, standing in front of, like, trying to make her body big to block off this desk behind her.
I turn to Helena and Doc, and I raise my eyebrows.
So I just walk up to her and I like, make it very obvious that I'm just looking around her to see what the desk is all about.
As you come in, Cleve, you were intimidating enough that she goes, okay, look, I'll tell you where I kept everything. Some of it I gave back, but a lot of it I didn't. I just, like, sometimes you just gotta be naughty, you know? And she pulls up the floorboards and opens the desk, and you see rivers of baubles and trinkets, bits of things stolen from guests over the years. And as she starts, pulling up different floorboards, there's more and more pulling off a picture frame from the wall. That's a hollowed out space. There's hidey holes all over this place, just filled with trinkets of people. She grabs you. She grabs you by the bottom of your beard and says, please don't tell Christoph. I need this job. Please don't tell Christoph. Look, if you promise me that you won't tell Christoph, I know a secret that you would really, really like to know. Something crazy. If you keep this,
okay, sorry, go.
It's way better than that. Way better than. But if you gotta promise to keep my secret, please don't tell Christoph what I've been doing. He will fire me like that.
I won't tell Christoph about your insecure little knick-knack lifting habit.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you want to know a secret?
Well, that was the deal, right?
Right, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I go,
Chris.
when is a door not a door? And I burst through the jar with the sturgeon. When it's a jar! Oh, sorry. And I back out.
No, please don't throw that. The secret is Christoph in the basement of the Mimc Cafe. In the basement, in one corner, there are body parts. Christoph has something to do with it. I saw him down there putting body parts into a barrel. That's all I know. But now you gotta keep my secret. Please.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell Helena real quick because that's kind of her thing. Hey, Helena, she's knows where there's bodies hidden or some such, weird stuff. That's I don't know what you're into, but apparently this Christoph guy that owns the place, he's in the same kind of thing.
I'm just studying anatomy. But this sounds very interesting. We should probably investigate.
As you are in the middle of this conversation, the door opens, and I'm trying to find out where the freaking door is in this room. I don't know. We'll just say that LaDonna appears right here, because I don't know where the door is.
Oh, excuse me, miss.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And as she comes out, she's very startled, and she quickly shuts the door, locks the door behind her. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. And she walks out, and then she goes around the corner for a quick second, and then she kind of peers back, looking at everyone, kind of looking at her own door.
Is everything all right?
Oh, everything's fine. I'm gonna go get some tea. See y'all. I'll see y'all.
I'll join you for some tea. We should get it together.
Humans need liquid.
Yeah.
Okay, so LaDonna begins walking this way. You gonna follow her, Helena?
Does she keep? I want to do a quick vibe check.
Sure, give me a vibe check.
All right. Yeah.
All right, that's a
Damn.
success. She's spooked.
Is it by something in her room, or is it just because of us?
That is hard to say. ¿Por qué no los dos? You guys are kind of scary. You have a plasmoid with a bunch of bottled sturges floating around in his body. And another one who's threatening to throw a sturge as a grenade. But she doesn't seem spacey like she was. She seems refreshed coming out of her room, but definitely weird. Like, there's something weird about this woman. Like, not right. Like, magically, almost, maybe even.
All right, Guys, you want to follow her? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll go have a spot of tea.
You go down to the bar, and LaDonna sits at a table and orders a tea, and she starts talking to you about her pilgrimage to the Temple of the Sun up in Valkovna, and what an amazing journey it was to go see the grand statue of Tiramain and to listen to the monks speak on the histories, and how it was also super convenient because there's a ski resort at Valkovna, and she got in some turns, which she hadn't been able to do in a long, long time. And she's just sort of blabbing, but she's increasingly becoming like more spacey as a couple of minutes go by, and she starts kind of clutching at her neck again, like she's used to fiddling with something, like the top button of a shirt or something like that, but there's nothing there. She's just kind of touching her neck.
Okay. I'm looking at her neck just to see if there's any marks on the neck or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay. So I ask her to kind of go back to that story about the temple, and I say, could you tell me a little bit more about what the temple was like, and how was the skiing? It sounds fabulous.
Oh, the skiing was incredible. It's mostly blues, and the greens are on a separate mountain, so you don't get in the way of all the beginners.
Oh, no black diamonds for you?
The jeans-wearing lift ticket people, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I definitely do.
The skiing is fantastic, but I just love going up there to see the giant statue and listen to the monks chant. I'm confused because I don't remember how I got back here. I was at the temple, and then I was here in the cafe. Isn't that silly? I totally lost her accent. Isn't that silly?
I forgot it. It's fine. That's very strange. Well, sometimes like you leave a room and you just forget why you went in it or how you got there. Maybe this is just a bigger version of that. What's in your room?
As soon as you say that, she ceases to be spacey and kind of looks at you like you've accessed a part of her programming that hasn't been coded yet. I barely know you.
Oh, well, we were just talking about memories and how sometimes we forget things when we enter a room or leave a room. So
Yeah.
I just thought maybe, is your room messy or is it really tidy?
Oh, it's very tidy. I just have a bed and my foot locker, and that's really about it. It's really about it.
Okay, so, but you don't remember how you got here.
No, I'm afraid I don't. Francis arrives with tea. Of course, Francis is looking at you, Helena, very apologetically and very scared. Your tea kind of rattles as she sets it down in front of you. Clickety, click, 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 click.
And I gently take it from her, and I'm like, don't worry, we are all friends here. And I take a sip, and then I kind of look over, I forgot her name, LaDonna. I kind of look at LaDonna and then look back at Francis and raise my eyebrows like, what's the deal with this one?
So Francis just kind of shrugs like, what are you going to do? This is just another annoying guest at the B&B to her. LaDonna starts talking about memory. The thing I remember about memory is my grandpap used to always say, I mean, this was, of course, before he died, because he didn't say anything after that, but before he died, he used to talk a lot about memory, and she sort of rambles off and gets increasingly spacey. And then let's bump back to our upstairs crew. What are we doing?
It's very strange that both of those people were very secretive about their rooms and then just left us right by their rooms, knowing that we're trying to get into any place we can.
Get in her room.
Also, being a fully accredited doctor, as you, Terry, and Cleve know, I am bound to analyze my surroundings and analyze people. I have a theory. Stay with me. Imagine now why we couldn't find the last mimic and why no one in the bar seemed to not be able to find the last mimic as well. Imagine, and I point towards my body at the floating bottles. Imagine each one of these sturges are one of the mimics in this place. And now imagine, and I kind of like shape myself again, kind of like a sturge. I too am a mimic. You see where I'm going with this?
Not at all, Doc.
It's simple. It's in the name. It's the Mimc Cafe. What if this whole building is a mimic?
Dun dun dun.
I get what you're saying, Doc.
Do we get a free drink now? Do you think that?
Let's check the room first.
Yeah, let's check the room.
So I assume you're going into the room that LaDonna just left?
Correct.
Somebody will need to pick the lock, for it is locked.
Can I, like, ghost whoever does it to try to assist them? I say
Can't
ghost
you use
like
your
the...
door? Can't you use your door opening skills?
Or I could do that. I just thought it was funnier if Cleve tries to do it.
That's
I'll try
fair.
to help
Never
him
mind.
out.
But he's also full of bottles
I
of
grab-
sturges, so he probably can't squeeze under the door
Yeah,
anymore.
no, I
You
can't.
might lose a
I'd
bottle
have to
or
lock
two.
pick it, yeah.
I grabbed Doc's shoulder. I was like,
Yeah.
no, limbo. And I take out a knife and I stab the
Okay,
keyhole.
make a knife check on the door.
I've seen this happen
Knives,
before.
knives,
He's
knives,
very good with
knives.
those.
That's a
Yeah.
5. I don't know why it doesn't let me roll good.
A 5 is good
Digital
enough.
dice get cocked. Like, come on.
A 5 will do it. So you dig the knife around in there. A little bit of the wood at the edge splinters, but that's all right. You can feel that last timber click. You flip it and open the door, and you see the simple room outfitted with a bed, a desk, and a chest. And also you notice the do not disturb sign hanging outside.
Can I flip it? The sign?
Yes, you can flip it to come on in.
Room service.
Yeah,
Plausible
so
deniability.
so there is bed, a little end table.
Terramaya having no concept that this might be a severance sort of situation based on the conversation downstairs. Walks towards this is a desk, not a treasure chest.
No, now that we know the door's over here, this is a treasure chest, or it's a chest. You don't know what's in it, and this is desk, and then this is like, I don't know, I guess bedpan on the floor or something.
I sidestep the
is.
bedpan and I throw a knife at the treasure chest.
You throw a knife at the treasure chest. All right, make a knife
Can't be
check.
too safe. Sure.
Ranged lock picking.
With a 1 and a 5, I will say that as you throw the knife, it lodges just under the lid enough that it starts to open, and that's when you learn that it's probably trapped because a little bit of poison gas comes out.
Ooh, cool. I thought it was just like a mimic or something. I was still playing the game because I'm out of beer and I go and it makes the straw noise of an empty cup.
So it's still locked, but now you know that there's a trap associated with this lock.
Well, I've seen Helen enough to try to disarm things. Or did she dismember things? Either way. And I'll walk over, try to disarm the trap so that he can lockpick it a little bit easier.
Sure, make a disarm roll.
I have so many. Oh, shit.
Dr. Haribo, as you're fiddling around with it, you accidentally and a big jet of poisonous gas, a cone of it, comes right out toward your face, blasting you. Make a check to see if you can dodge out of the way of the cone.
5.
Yeah, you dodge out of the way.
Actually, I'll use an XP to make that a 6. Does that give me a dodge skill now?
Sure. Terramaya and Dr. Haribo, you both get some kind of stinging in your eyes, as it seems like a mist of like cayenne pepper, maybe. stinging, but no damage. You're not damaged. And now the trap has been sprung. Chest is still locked, but the trap seems like it's out for now.
And yeah, I'm just recovering and take a step back, swiping the air and like making sure nothing's going wrong with the bombs inside of me. And I say, Terramaya, the riddle knife flame battle wizard. Now add lockpicking to your repertoire. Finish it for us.
Okay, hold this. And I smush the jar back into you. And I try to pick this lock.
Okay.
With a knife? Question mark? I don't know if you use knives, but okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good enough. You spring the lock, and inside, big chest. When you open it, it feels cavernous because there's only two things inside. There's a very small journal and what looks like a locket on a chain. And this locket on the chain is kind of... It's not making any sound, but you can almost feel it kind of woomph, woomph. Like there's power coming from this thing. Magical power coming from it.
Jeremiah has never read the instructions in his life, so he grabs the locket and leaves the book.
As soon as you grab the locket, very strange, conflicting feelings run through your body. You get this feeling of vitality, this feeling that you're stronger, that you're better, that you've just done a big rip of cocaine and you want to start a business and you want to go jogging again and eat better. Like it makes you want to be a better person and fills you with vitality. But also it feels like it's a bad deal. Like whatever you get for this vitality, it's going to cost you something. You don't know what that is, but it feels scary. Like the longer you hold it, the scarier it feels.
Guys. I think we should open a place just like this, but better. I think we could totally I'm seeing all the ins and the outs. We're a great team. We don't even need a rogue. I thought we needed a rogue, but I got in the chest and like when I drop it, I was like, whoa!
As you
that
drop
thing's spicy.
You've never made more sense to me. Yes.
The amulet pops open and you can see two little pictures inside. The two little hearts as they fold open. Very small. Someone have to pick it up again to.
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
All right, Cleve, as you lean in and you pick it up and you pull close to your face, you feel that same sort of feeling. Like you really want to start a business, but also you feel drained. Like you just don't have the energy to start a business, but you really want to. And as you look at this opened locket with the two little hearts, you see pictures of what looks like some kind of demonic vulture-like creature. Like elongated, pointed, kind of crow-like face, enormous wings. And if you can make a check to see if you know what kind of creature this is. Shin, you get a 6 on identifying pictures inside lockets. You get a 2d6 for that.
Or could we call that demonology?
We could call that demonology, or you could call it history, or whatever. Yeah, this is a Vrock, which is a very nasty creature. It's manipulative and conniving and scheming. And why this woman would have a locket with heart-shaped pictures of a Vrock on the inside is weird.
So
very weird.
Are both sides the rock?
Same picture, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did anyone pick up the journal?
Not Terry.
The only person that looked inside was Terry. I count all 6 vials of me and like, yes, okay, my children are fine. I'm kind of more concerned with Cleve and what he's finding in that. So I don't know how Cleve responds to.
Well, I throw this thing on the bed. I'm like, that thing's cursed with a demon, I think.
And is it open like, and so I could kind of see like what is in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm not going to touch it now that I know it's cursed, but I'll see the animal demon type thing. And yeah, I'll double check the crate just in case. Now that I know that if Terry picked it up, if he just like instantly didn't pay attention to the rest of the stuff in the crate, so I'll go look over there.
Sure, yeah, you see a journal.
Flip through it.
You take out the journal, and this appears to be a travel journal of LaDonna. She talks about traveling up from all the way from the beach town of Marsul in the south, all the way past Kila to go to Valkovna. She talks about seeing the temple. She talks about the skiing. She lists some runs and some times. You know, there's a few charts in there about her skiing. And then she talks about after visiting Valkovna, she discovered a cave near the ski mountain where she found, quote, an artifact, something of great importance, and then makes notes about how she needed to come to the cafe. And then there's things written in a strange language or some kind of code. Where as soon as after talking about how she needed to go to the Mimc Cafe, then it's all in sort of symbols and weird stuff.
Is there any way to Sherlock Holmes this and try to figure it out and piece things together?
You want to make like a cryptology check?
Sure.
What do you call that? Code breaking? Not cryptology.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Cryptography.
Isn't that
A 6.
Yeah, you're good at ciphering. So basically, it descends from a travel journal into the ravings of a conspiracy theorist, lunatic, flat earther kind of person. But the main thing you can take away from the notes is that she's awaiting instructions, and she's to remain here at the
And
Mimc
does it
Cafe.
seem like the way that the previous parts of the journal was written, that it seems like something took this person over, or this was always like the way that they were, and that to me it seems like it's something that when they touched the object they were cursed and just taken over, right?
Yeah, you would get the sense, since you've met this woman and now you've seen this locket, that she's possessed, she's cursed, and that in the 5e sense, she's attuned to this locket.
Gotcha. In the
and that would
5e
be why
sense-
she was like clutching at her neck earlier, right? Because she, even if she's not wearing the locket, she's still connected to the locket.
In the 5e sense, is there a way that I could try to like use magic or something ritual to try to remove the curse from this object?
After studying it, it seems like it will not de-attune from LaDonna while she's alive,
Gotcha.
or as long as she wants it to be attuned.
Okay.
Like she would have to choose to not to de-attune from it.
I will. This seems kind of cheesy, but I want to get Angela back in. I kind of point in the direction going down, and I kind of like do the message cantrip, and I'm just like, "Dear Helen, there seems to be a cursed object inside of that old weird lady's room. She might be taken over by a demon. Just letting you know. How are you?"
Can I respond?
Sure.
I think you can, yeah.
Okay. Dear doctor, I'm doing great. The tea here is delicious, although I don't think I'll be drinking any more of it today. I'll be up shortly. Please don't touch it. Probably wrap it up and hide it somewhere safe on one of our persons. Maybe? Talk soon. Love from downstairs.
And I'll remessage, dear Helen, none of us did touch it, but just in case two of us did touch it, is there anything bad, adverse effects that might have happened that me, a doctor that's fully accredited, should know about and can fix?
Dear doctor, there's absolutely lots of things that could go horribly, horribly wrong. Let me state this in all caps in your brain. Do not touch. Cursed objects can sometimes curse people or sentient beings. So please don't touch. Wrap it in a pillowcase or something, and we should probably get it out of here.
Helena, Francis taps you on the shoulder. Are you like okay? You're mumbling to yourself.
Gosh, sorry, I forgot. I don't actually like tea. I gotta go.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
It's been so nice talking to you. I love skiing. I gotta go again sometime for sure. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. It was really nice chatting with you. Bye. And I just walk toward The upstairs.
So yeah,
And
Francis.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Francis looks at you confused, and you can see LaDonna is full spaced out mode now, just like sort of staring at the wall, like she's slowly Ken Burns zooming into the wall.
I do one of these from Francis to her. I'm like,
Francis gives you a nod, although she seems kind of freaked out by the situation. Mike,
okay.
what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to turn to my two companions in the room while Helen's coming back upstairs, and just be like, kind of sitting near the desk. I pull the chair out and I just say, bedside manner, I have some good news and some bad news. Bad news first, because then I can soften it with good news. You two might have a curse. Good news is that Helen had great tea, and I deceived her so she won't kill you immediately.
Helen, do you want me to move you back up to the second floor?
Oh, sure. Thank you. I forgot.
Okay. All right. We are all in the room now with the cursed locket.
Happy family.
Okay. Who's got the locket?
It just got there, and I point to it on the bed.
Okay. I take it, and I take the pillowcase off the pillow, and I'm going to wrap the locket in the pillowcase. And then I'm going to pull the hand that I had in my bag out and close the fingers around it to hold it in place, and then stick it in my bag.
Okay. As you wrap it up at the point where you feel like it's contained, everyone feels a slight change, almost a barometric pressure change. Like all of a sudden you can feel a storm coming. And as you look out the window, you see some clouds beginning to form. And now what was a blue sky, almost lunchtime, is now turned into a gray day outside. So you guys can see out the windows.
Probably not good. Can I make a knowledge check to see if I understand what's happening?
Sure.
Yeah.
3 and a 5. Yeah, this amulet is growing. It's exuding some kind of power.
So I turn to the rest of the group and I say, well, here's the thing. This is not good, and I think we need to get this thing out of here and probably away from, everyone, really. Would I know that if it's attuned to that LaDonna that it would kill, that either she needs to die or let it go?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
you've had experience with magic items before. You'd probably know that there's no way to forcibly de-attune it from her while she's alive.
Okay, so I relay that to the party and I say, so we really only have two options. We get this thing away from her and hope that she can decide that she wants to be without it, or we kill her. And I don't think she's bad.
Well, why don't you run get her, and I'll use my demonology skill to exorcise this rock demon.
It doesn't really work like that. She has to choose to let it go, and I don't know if she's still capable of doing that.
Well, I'm just saying, bring her up here so we, don't embarrass her in front of everybody downstairs when I start, telling her she needs to exorcise this demon.
Maybe we should get her away from the building full of people.
Well, that might be a good idea too, I suppose.
Or take her to the basement, just in case we do have to kill her. There's body parts down there.
Also, just so I can know,
We were going to
I can know the proper responses. Are we overstepping our bounds, or is this within our rights as adventurers to do such things for someone else's?
This thing is definitely evil.
Perfect.
We need to do something about it. Yeah,
Good to know. Writing down note. Also, keep in mind we might be inside of a giant mimic.
What?
Yes.
Does that mean we get more beer?
At least a keg, I imagine. It's like the grand prize, I think.
It's gotta be.
Ooh.
You're so smart. Cool. So to the basement?
Absolutely.
and grab the old lady on the way.
Yeah, sure.
Terry is reminiscing about the party he used to adventure with. That was a lot less weird than this one.
All right, everyone has been moved back down to the first floor.
Hey Jim, can we get the big map? Can we get the full picture of the map for a sec for everybody at home? It's this big, beautiful map.
Oh, the world map?
And like the zoom out, your whole setup tonight. It's quite nice. We wanted to give credit to.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's my homebrew world of Tyradon up at the top. So you got back down to the first floor. LaDonna is sitting in her chair, kind of rocking back and forth, like
I'm just gonna run up and be like, "Hey, LaDonna, I found one tea. Hey, LaDonna, I got your necklace. Okay, bye."
And as you turn, she looks over to you and she says, "Wait, y'all have it.
I mean, we saw
Y'all
it.
have it."
I run.
Okay. What's everybody else doing? LaDonna is looking at everyone very upset.
Is she following us?
Yeah, wait, is she moving? I'll make to run. I won't run until she moves.
My move is I'm just going to look at Francis and just say, so if the whole building is a mimic, do we get a keg? That's my turn.
Francis is she's got one eye on LaDonna, as she's doing this kind of weird stuff in her chair, and she's looking at her and she's like, "Whole place a mimic? I don't think so. I mean, you can ask Kristoff." And as soon as she says that, a man walks through the bar. Big guy, big tree trunk arms. He's got that kind of elder pro wrestler body. He's still got the pythons, but he's got the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got that kind of former adventurer build, like retired barbarian. So he walks in. He's got a big leather apron on the front, big bushy sideburn mustache. Looks at everyone. "Hello, I'm Kristoff Black. Is everyone having a good time today?"
Yeah.
And so LaDonna is beginning to get up. Kristoff is in the doorway. What are you all doing?
I'll turn to Kristoff and say the same thing. So, with this riddle that we walked into, if the whole building is a mimic, do we get a keg?
Oh, you would if the whole building was a mimic. That's a fantastic idea. I'm going to have to go look for some giant mimics to tame, and then I'll turn one into a building. Probably save me on that expansion I was planning if I could just use a mimic. You're just very smart.
I am a doctor.
Are you now? Well, I might have use of someone like you on my staff if I can expand and build the resort that we're planning. Anyway, everyone, have we found all the mimics today? And LaDonna's beginning to make her way over, just sort of staring at each of you back and forth. Which one of y'all has it? You can't have it. It'll kill you. Only I can bear the weight.
Oh, yes, and one of your patrons are cursed.
Wait a second, what?
Yeah, that one. I mean,
Kristoff
not that it wasn't
in.
obvious, but that one.
and Cleve just says, well, I guess we're just doing it here out in the open. And I walk over to her and I raise my hand over her forehead, kind of hovering over her forehead. And I say, "Darkness, you are not welcome here."
All right, make an exorcism check. Cleve.
Fury Dragon exorcism move.
This is going to be a hard difficulty. You
Oh!
got a 6. So she begins to try to, as your hand goes on her head like an older brother keeping a little brother away. Your hand goes on her head. She tries to push against it, and she starts, and she sinks down to one knee. And who actually has the locket?
I believe it's Helen in the sack and hand thing.
It's me.
So as she drops down to one knee, she looks over to you, Helena, and she says, "You cannot have it. You're not worthy. It will crush you." And then she looks up at the heavens and says, "I need your help." And so let's go into initiative. We're gonna start. We'll do same top-down order. We'll start with Cleve. LaDonna is screaming at Helena. What do? You got your hand on her. I think you're muted too.
And I say to her, release the locket. We can handle this. Just let it go. Be free. Yeah, I'll use my newly acquired demonology skill again.
Okay.
Oh.
With a couple of threes, she says, I don't think so. Dalbanon, I need you. Come aid me. And Terramaya, what are you doing?
I have walked up to the bar, and I order. I go, Captain. You have anything a bit stronger? I might have to stab an old lady in a little bit.
Yeah, what's going on over there? I mean, I got my axe behind the bar if you need it, but she's just a little old lady. I don't think we should cut her to pieces, but, you know.
I put 10 golds on the bar top. It's like,
Okay.
Leave the bottle and the axe, and hey, where's the basement?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, Terry. You got all the charm.
Yeah.
She says, I normally wouldn't tell anybody this, but if you go to the east bar, that's over here, you go to the east bar, there's a trap door down to the basement in the southeast corner of the room. But your customers aren't really supposed to be down there, but, you know, I'm just going to be here doing my job.
Okay, thanks. And I grab the bottle and the axe, and I turn around and start walking back towards my happy family.
Helen, what are you doing?
If I start to move toward her, do I feel any different vibrations from this locket?
The locket is pulling to her, almost like it's magnetized. The locket wants to be around her neck.
Okay. I tell her, LaDonna, you have to let this go. You don't need this locket, and it doesn't. It needs you. You are stronger than this magic. I'm gonna try and see if I can persuade her, I guess, or convince her. Oh boy, no.
You just get and
Oh,
then
damn it.
Dr. Haribo, it's your turn.
Oh,
Can I move after my action?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna start moving toward the door.
Is Cleve still by LaDonna, or did Cleve move away?
No, I've still got my hand on her forehead. Like,
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna slide you over there.
So I say to the rest of the people in here, just like, all right, everyone, orderly fashion, get out. It's gonna get weird in here. And I start like walking towards. I kind of go over the table, like my goo is kind of like rotating with me, and then I kind of slowly shift into the form of this, like, it's still gelatinous and kind of more red flavored or red colored flavored. And I turn into, what looks like to be this large bear of just this kind of like gummy texture. And I go up next to them, haunches on my sides, kind of like post up to the back of this lady. And then I pull out the chair and I sit down and just say, look, LaDonna, you gotta give it up. There's gonna be better businesses here. We could figure something out. It sounds like in your journal that we totally didn't. I'm gonna be honest, we read it. You wanted a business. Think about a business that had a full-on large mimic. Christoph seems very interested to have a full place that had a large mimic inside, and your business is inside of it. Talk to your, what was the name of it? Dalbanon. Ask, if they want to have a cool business, we can work something out. But you got to get rid of the past. You got to get rid of this initial thing, man. This is not good for you and your health. And if you don't, I'm going to put you inside and I show my fucking Sturgis floating around me. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to have to put you in there.
She's definitely intimidated. I don't think we need to roll for that. The Game Master's turn. A lot of these people are freaked out. They're going to start running away. They're going to start backing up. This guy's a little confused. He's going to run for the front door. She's going to scoot herself back. So all these people are kind of picking up, except for the undead busboy Reth. He moves closer to the conflict. These guys, yeah, everybody's backing up a little bit. This is really not cool. So LaDonna, she starts vibrating. It's too late. And she's going to do two things. First, she snaps her finger. Also, she's going to try to break free from all three of these. Well, no, not Francis. Francis is a pacifist. She's running the corner. LaDonna's going to try to break free from both Cleve and Dr. Haribo. So I'm going to roll a d6. I have 2. If either of you can beat a 2, you will prevent her from running away.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's a little old frail lady, even though she's powered by demon juice. She is not able to run away. However, after that finger snap, you see reverberations in the air, and all of a sudden, in this area, right around here, smoke starts to swirl and form when Dalbanon makes his appearance.
Shit, killer.
This
Shit.
enormous vulture-like demon appears, cracks his neck, and then he looks all around, surveys everyone, sees LaDonna, sees the party, sees the civilian NPCs around. And then he looks down at the mimic on the floor below him. Smiles, and he reaches down and he starts removing the mimic's restraints. He frees the mimic, removes the... I'm going to take this red ring around from this mimic. This mimic is no longer restrained. And this mimic goes, and takes a bite out of this lady right away. And that is all he's going to do. We're back to Cleve. This giant demon just appeared about 20 feet from you and freed one of the restrained mimics.
Well, Cleve's just going to charge at this guy, the demon, and he says, "The power of the 4 winds compels you. Release this woman." And I'm going to hit him with my signature stunning stone fist.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do this as a contested check. So, that's 5.
Oh,
That's 2. He evades your attack. Anything else you want to do?
somebody better save that woman.
Terry, you're up.
You know, hell, you can heal people, right? And I throw a knife at the old lady.
Yes.
Yeah, your knife ah! goes right into under her collarbone, and she drops to one knee, not dead, but very wounded. It doesn't take
Action
much.
surge.
Go ahead. Yeah, your second strike, sort of. Your second strike, you go in, and then Dr. Hariba moves at the right second, and you bounce off a bottled sturge.
Oopsie poopsie.
All right, Helen,
Did
you're
anything happen to the demon when she got stabbed?
up. No.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to do something stupid. Based on my knowledge of this locket and my understanding of this situation, if I put the locket on and start trying to attune to it, can I release her from this demon, or...
It would take time to attune to it. You could, theoretically, but it would definitely take more than one, turn.
And but the tie to the demon is severed. Would it work faster if she were dead?
You don't know? Maybe. Oh,
All right.
Listen to combat music.
I'm going to just casually slip this locket on, and I'm going to lean down like I'm going to try to help her. Oh, all right. I got to roll to see what I'm going to do. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll do the right thing.
Boo.
So I'm gonna lean forward like I'm gonna help her, and then I'm just gonna
Okay.
tweak the knife a little bit to sever the artery to her heart,
Oh God. Okay.
as if I'm going to pull it out. So only I would know what's happening. It looks as though I'm about to pull it out to try to help her, but I'm finishing the job in the
Okay.
hopes that this will sever the tie to the demon and send it back to where it came from.
Yeah. Make an attack roll.
Okay.
What was the wrong thing?
Okay.
Yeah, you reach, you grab Terry's knife, give it a whoosh, and LaDonna looks at you confused. You see at first rage in her eyes, and then confusion, and then a momentary feeling of amnesia, like she's not sure where she is, and then she slumps onto the ground. And out of the corner of her eye, you can see Dalbanon screech, but it doesn't bring him to his knees. He's clearly affected by this, but he's not dead. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I just I want to kind of cradle her and whisper a small prayer for her as I lay her down to rest.
Okay.
My hope was to release her from this peacefully and send this thing away. I am now going to basically just ready in action to heal anybody that I possibly can in my party or in this moment.
Got it. Dr. Haribo, what are you doing?
When I see Helena doing all that stuff, I just look over and just say, "Doctor, time of death," and I reach into my body. I grab 2 bottles and I say, "Conjure friendly animals," and I'm trying to use magic to make them friendly with us, and I toss them at the demon, in hopes that it'll break and they'll attack them, but to hopefully magically influence the animals to know, like, to follow my command type of vibe.
Right. Make a ranged Sturge attack.
Okay.
A magical ranged Sturge attack.
A 3,
no.
but I'm gonna burn 3 XP to make it a 6.
All right, that's a good use because I was about to unleash a Sturge on you. So you throw it and it turns into a rocket, crashes into Dalbanon. The Sturge comes out, stabs on him, and then he grabs the sturgeon, pops it, and then looks at you. But you can see he's now bleeding, and there's ooey black ichor leaking out of holes across the front of his body from the Sturge cuts. Anything else?
I will, move towards where this mimic is, and I look down on it, and I have a foot ready to kick it, and I'm just like, I didn't finish my fight with you. I hit you once. Now I'm gonna finish you off. It was the one that I kicked in here.
Okay. All right. So now on all the NPCs' turn, seeing this demon stuff, this guy's outie. This woman is definitely heading toward the door. Francis is going to duck back down. Reth is going to go straight for Dalbanon, take a swing at him. Let's see how good Reth does. We'll roll a d6 for you, Reth.
Buddy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
rolls a 6.
Ooh.
Whoosh! Reth drags claws from him. This is not okay. Whoosh! Whoosh! I was about to do a stand-up set. You are killing the mood. Whoosh! Reth slashes through him. Grace Stormrider jumps over the table, whoosh, like one of the Dukes of Hazzard boys, going over the front of the General Lee, and snatches her axe, runs up to Dalbanon, and is going to take a swing at him. Whoosh! That's a 2. She bounces off some of his shoulder pauldron armor. Francis is a pacifist. She's hiding in the corner. Kristoff is going to rush in, and he is going to go straight up to this mimic and take a swing at it. If he gets a 6, he'll kill it. Now you got a 6.
Nice.
Yeah, this mimic was just about to eat this poor NPC woman over in the corner, but he manages. Kristoff brings his big club down and smashes the mimic and he says, "Oh no, those things are so expensive." But you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't let the mimics kill the guests. Then finally, Dalbanon flies up above everyone and flies over to this mimic. Fa-ping, 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 removes the restraints and frees this mimic. I'll remove the red ring around it. And then
He's
he
trying
just
to get the other two,
cackles.
and he's gonna get the beer, and he's gonna win. You gotta stop him.
It's our beer.
LaDonna is dead. That's everyone. So now we're back to Cleve.
All right, Cleve's gonna run over here, jump up on this table, and he's gonna combine his water bending ability with his demonology ability, and I'm going to try to pull, because he's now bleeding. Right, this ichor is leaking out of him. So I'm
He's
gonna
hurt,
try.
yeah.
I'm gonna try to like just drag as much of that ichor out of him as I can, like just pulling his blood out of his open wound with my water bending, basically turning it into blood bending with my
Gross.
newly acquired demonology skill. 5.
Cleve, with that 5, you look at this demon, and now that you know so much more about demonology, it comes with knowledge of demon physiology, and so you know exactly where to send your tornado pulse, and you see chunks of him start to fly off, and this demon, whereas before was carefree, not concerned with people attacking him, seemed only interested in freeing these mimics. Now he's looking over at you, and now he looks concerned. He looks angry and concerned. And then, Terry, what are you doing?
He is standing next to the fireplace, correct?
He's like hovering over above ground, sort of near it. He's got little vulture wings. Flap, flap, flap.
Cool. I say, I am the knife-wielding riddle wizard, and I cast fireball, and I throw the bottle of liquor at the fireplace.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Please tell me.
If you roll a 1, you're going to incinerate one of these two people. And a 6 will get you very targeted damage.
Cool. This is not the first time I've thrown a full bottle of liquor into a fireplace. 5.
Okay, so yeah, your targeted attack works. You throw it over there. You manage to completely incinerate that mimic. And Dalbanon is... Oh, I'm not even showing it on the... Oops. Dalbanon is now looking very wounded, like starting to look above everyone's heads, possibly for an exit. And Helen, what do you want to do?
Cool. I'm gonna run forward, and I'm like real mad about the fact that we couldn't save this woman. So I'm gonna throw some holy magic at this thing and try to eviscerate it with the power of prayer. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna roll an attack. Okay, sick. Yeah, so I kind of like whisper her name, and then I like take my scalpel and I like whip it at him, and it's basically like a blessed object that's being thrown at him like an arrow or a dagger.
All right, yeah, you hurl your attack at him. All the fury of seeing LaDonna's recently dead body on the ground behind you, your anger that you weren't able to draw the demon out of her before it appeared. You fling your attacks. Dalbanon, light starts to pour out of different orifices in his body where black ichor was coming out. Now it's beams of light, headlights. And he starts to rise up toward the ceiling, light coming out of him like snowflakes. And he says, "This is not over. My grand plan will be realized." And then the light beams till there's so many they just engulf him, and he exploding black ichor in every direction. And Dalbanon, for the time being, at least, is no more. Anything
Sick.
else you want to do?
I'm gonna run over to that patron and try to heal her.
Sure, yeah, you don't need to roll for that. You're able
Yeah.
to stabilize her, essentially.
Mhm.
Stop her from bleeding out. Dr. Haribo, what would you like to do? There's still, is that all the mimics? Yeah.
That we found, yeah.
There's one
there
more.
were 2 awakened mimics. There are 2 more
Actually-
mimics in this room, but
yeah, I'll let it be like out loud. Just be like, oh no, the 2 mimics are. Where are? Oh, they're there, right. And I'm like looking to see if anyone's like staring at corners or anything like that.
and as you look around like that, this woman in the corner looks down and she says, "Oh, crap, I found one." The rug underneath her feet starts going, trying to snap at her, and she jumps out of the way. I found one.
Then yeah, I would move this direction, and I probably couldn't run all the way there, but I would try to like in bear form slam down, and it's kind of like a rolling kind of like a shockwave type of thing that kind of makes like the wood splinter up and attack the mimic.
You're gonna attack the mimic?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you don't
I
need
know
to
it has
roll.
corks in it and all that stuff still, but I'm just like, we're still in this.
As you make your attack, Kristoff runs over. No, please, no, please. It's not. They're not all bad. It was just that mimic is fine. Please, don't attack the mimics, please. I've already
Well, it
lost so much
seems
money
like
today.
And I look at this person by the front door, split a beer.
Right? You know what? Beers for everyone on the house. And you're kind of hey, everyone's pretty freaked out. And Kristoff comes up to all you adventurers and says, "I'm so sorry about all that. I don't know what happened. That woman had been a guest here for a few days. Didn't speak to anyone, just came down, drink tea, and then spent the rest of the time up in her room."
I have the journal inside. Here's this.
Oh my
gonna
god.
wipe it off a little bit.
Oh, it's
Kind of
soggy.
explains a little bit around why they're here and what's going on.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, everyone. I can assure you this is not standard operating procedure for the Mimc Cafe. We hold ourselves to a certain standard of excellence, and everyone, free beers for the rest of the day until 7 p.m.
God.
For some reason, Dr. Haribo's like got a weird vibe about this whole place. Like this is a person that owns the place, and something about the demon like interacting with the mimics specifically. And then something about the basement. Can I get an insight on this person to see if they're nervous about something else going on or like something that they're trying to hide?
Yeah, and Kristoff the owner, sure.
Yeah. 2.
There's just a demon attack, man. Everybody's rattled.
He's worried about his TripAdvisor score.
Yeah. Pull out my phone just to see his face. Mm.
No, wait, let's talk. So what's everybody doing now?
Yeah, I'm not
Terramaya
buying
is
his-
drinking.
Yeah, of course. I'm not buying his innocence. I'm upset about what happened with LaDonna. I really thought that we'd be able to save her, and my doing the right thing was trying to end it before the demon could fully exist, because the wrong thing was to let her live and suffer as the demon got stronger. So now I got a bone to pick with Kristoff, and despite my usual timid nature, I look at him directly and I go, "What are you hiding with this place?"
What? I don't know what you mean. Hiding what? Mimics?
What's in the basement?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's
Um,
nothing in there's barrels and there's boxes and grain and salt, flour.
I pull
And
out
body
a scalpel
parts.
and I kind of twirl it, and then I just hold it up at him, and I'm like, "You saw what my friends and I can do. Try answering honestly."
Cleve, do you say body parts out loud?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So as soon as you say that, Kristoff, his eyes bug out and he's like, and sort of waves, like, follow me, starts walking up this way.
I look at Francis and I ordered 1 liquid and I grab it and I leave to go wherever Helen is going as well, and Cleve.
Yeah, I guess we'll all go follow.
Guys,
All right.
open bar. Happy family. All right.
All right, so-
Sorry.
So Kristoff goes into this room, which appears to be another bar, and there's a couple of patrons in there drinking. Seem pretty freaked out about what happened in the other room, though they didn't see it. As you come in here, Kristoff says, Or there's a mimic in here. If you find him, get a free drink. You know the drill. And so Kristoff says, Look, the body parts. I knew I should never have done this, but there were that demon. It all makes sense now. There are these two little devilish creatures, bearded like razor blades, who came and they were harassing tourists because they said that some vulture demon killed their master on this world and they're trapped here. And they killed some tourists and I caught them and they said they would kill me, but they said if they kept some of the body parts in the basement for them and they would just take the occasional traveler, and they're hiding out by the tree stump. It's nasty business. I don't want to clean up the body parts, but I cannot fight them. They're too strong. If you want to go in the basement, it's right here. The hatch is right there. Do as you like.
I look to the rest of you guys and I'm like, I just want to end this.
I say, doors, my specialty. And I just went out. But also, outside by the tree stump, you say, there's bearded devil creatures.
Very nasty, very dangerous.
I look at Helena and I just say, and something about the vulture or whatever, which is one of the photos that were inside the locket, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I just look at them and at Helena and I'm just like, well, maybe we can make a barter with that necklace or destroy it? Question mark.
Can I make a knowledge check to see if I would know how?
How to destroy it?
Yeah.
Sure.
No.
Probably take it to a holy person. Probably take it to some kind of monastery.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if I could do it, but if
You don't think so?
Okay. No. So yeah, I pass that on. I'm like, well, we could take it somewhere, but if these creatures are here and they're terrorizing patrons, we're probably, well, we could just take it to a priest and, Kristoff can clean up his own mess.
I mean, Helly, you are a priest, right? And I gotta say, it does look nice on you.
Thanks. I'm in training a little bit still, so certain things I can't quite do yet, and this might be one of them. But I do know somewhere we could take this thing to have it destroyed.
Okay, but I kind of need a long rest. I did my action surge, so maybe we could go upstairs.
Do we want to maybe, do we feel like going out to the tree stump, or do we want to just go take a nap and maybe go to a temple and leave this place and never come back again?
Let's go take out those bearded devils.
If we fix your business, Kristoff,
Yeah.
do we numbers? Can we be a 10%?
What he's asking
Owner.
is, can we be, VIPs here? Free room and board, maybe a few free beers every time we come.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I could sign you up, of course, give you a free membership to our Mimc Cafe Plus service.
Does that sound good, Doc?
Absolutely. Wow, it smells bad down here. As I'm opening the door.
Yeah, if you open the trapdoor, the scent of decay wafts up. Something is gross down there.
All right, let's go kill some monsters.
You want to go fight the bearded? You want to go at least examine the bearded devils?
I mean, I was going to check to see if there was some weird ritualistic circle down here first. But if you want to go outside and just beat up some baddies, hell yeah, dude.
I was going to say, it's up to you. Kristoff, is there anything else down there that we need to know about?
No, just stop. Well, there's a mimic in one of the barrels, but you can tell which one it is. It's the newest looking one, the one without any dust on it. That one hasn't been processed yet, so just don't open the barrel, you'll be fine.
All right. Doc, how's that sound to you?
Here I go.
Yeah, I'm not going to move over to the basement map. You duck down there, and it's exactly as Kristoff described. It's mostly just a storage room, about 30 by 20, and then in one corner of the room, you see some burlap sacks that are clearly wet. And as you go over and you move the burlap sacks around, it's definitely body parts, and you see there's a hole in the wall with a tunnel that goes in and up.
I call up and I just say, I'm not sure if Christoph, is this tunnel made by the creatures that we were talking about, or is this
I
something
think-
you made?
No, they did that.
So they might expect us just to come a normal route, but wouldn't expect us from the route that they created, possibly. I don't quite know what to say about this. Let's just walk outside. I come back up. It's up to y'all. I am a doctor, but I'm not a battle-matician.
What about you, Terry and Cleve? What do you think?
Cleve just starts walking out towards the stump.
Yes.
Okay,
Guess
I'll
that's
go ahead and move everyone.
I kick one of the stools and say, Mimic, as I leave.
As you start to come around this corner, about like everybody's getting over here, you can definitely hear some, at this tree stump right here, you can hear some kind of rustling on the far side of it.
Should we do battle plan sneak attack?
I'm going to throw a rock at it.
Yes, phase 1.
Okay, you throw a rock at the tree stump. As soon as you do, a little devilish creature leans around.
Well, they're definitely in there.
You're a freaky little one.
And then the other one appears, and they both swing around opposite sides. And this one holds up a little knife and says, "Give us all your money or die."
I'll lean towards Helena and just be like, maybe if we show them that the locket is ours.
I think we just tell them we killed their master.
Or that too. Yes.
So do you want to tell them or should I?
We killed your master.
What?
Us, the 4 of these adventuring people.
That's
And
impossible.
we have a locket with your face on it. Or something like that.
It doesn't make sense. Dalbanon killed our master. The Vrock, he killed our master.
And we killed the killer of the master, your master's killer, the master of this lady we saw, we killed. So now we're the masters.
Why do you speak in riddles, Jelly Ranger?
I speak in confusion.
So these bearded devils are just kind of, they're not sure what to make of you guys now.
We got off on the wrong foot. See, we threw a rock at you. Sorry about that. Are you cool? Are you, you supposedly there was like dead body parts downstairs that you are part of. And I don't think that's,
Yeah.
and I look back at my compatriot, specifically Helena, that's not cool, right?
No, that's not cool. My
That's
version
not
is
cool.
We gotta make a living. Wait, did you really kill Dalbanon?
Yeah.
different. I did.
Can you prove it?
Yeah, I mean, he's like all over the inside of that tavern.
He like turned into light and went poof, and he was like, "Oh, it's not the end." And we're
And-
like,
I still have like a little sphere of ichor that's kind of like from my blood bending, and I just spray it at them.
Oh, gross. Okay, let's get a group persuasion check. Everybody persuade.
Let's do this.
You can probably see over here now.
Oh no. I'm adding all of my points to this to make it a 6.
I had a 5.
"I had a 3."
I got a 4.
Oh man, there were horses this whole time?
We'll take
Sure.
those and ride off into the sunset.
There are several things you guys didn't explore.
A part of me, every single door we went by, like as we were like leaving places, I was gonna say, "Oh, I just peek in, just so we could see," you know.
All right, what were I couldn't see him. What were the rolls?
3, 4, 5, and someone else got something. I forgot.
6, because I'm adding, it was a 2, but I'm adding my 4 points to it.
Okay, so 4, 5, and a 6.
And a 3.
Yeah. So they kind of look at each other, and one says to the other, "If Dalbanon is dead, we can go home." So they
And
kind of
where's-
Then be gone, demon! Flee, darkness!
Ah! They start to run away
He's very anti-demon. Where's home, by the way?
in the hells.
Oh, okay.
Is anybody going to stop them?
Get out.
No.
All right. The bearded devils run away,
This
Now-
house is clean now.
And Cleve, I did not realize you for the. I always thought you were about like barbarian or something. I realize now you're a cleric. The whole time, had no idea.
We've
And
been
you,
hanging out a
Helena,
lot.
the rogue.
We've been sharing the faith, you know.
You, Helena, the rogue, and you, Terramaya, the wizard, and me,
Yes.
the doctor.
So over the next several minutes, you return back into the Mimc Cafe, where you see Grace and another woman, just some NPC, kneeling over LaDonna, and the woman is massaging her back while Grace is, there's some sort of green light coming out of her fingers, touching LaDonna, and she slowly starts to murmur and move.
Oh man, necromancy.
And Grace looks up. She says, "No, it's not. It's not necromancy. She's gonna be all right. It's gonna take her
Gonna
a
be
few
like
days.
a friend of Reth.
She might be a little, she's gonna be like like a little bit weird, but she'll be all right. She's not gonna be undead. It's okay." And she goes back to massaging the magic into her. By the way, if you guys are all done here, I got an investment opportunity I'd love to talk to everyone about. Really, I got brochures up in my room and everything.
I'm gonna stay and study to see how this magic is being worked, and I'll follow you guys on any investment opportunities you might be interested in.
I mean, money is quite important and one of the main reasons why we adventure. So, being a new 10% owner of here, the Mimc Cafe, I think that we should do more adventures to procure more funds.
So Grace Stormrider, she begins to fill you in. She passes out brochures. Her business, she has a land crawler business. She has a vehicle that's like a contraption. It's got 6 legs, and it's essentially like a roving giant van. And she wants to give people tours across the Valley of the Dead Gods. But she was attacked by a rust monster, and they tore clean through the landcrawler, so she needs to afford the good steel for repairs. There's also the corrupt tourism board who doesn't want to approve her permit to do tours in the Valley of the Dead Gods. So she needs some help there.
So you need
But-
some like startup capital, or this is like an escort mission? Because we don't do those.
Oh no, the landcrawler is fully armed, and I can beat the shit out of anybody. But yeah, it's the tourism board. They're just so corrupt. I need somebody to go talk to them.
It
And I
sounds
need investors
like,
too.
Cleve, something needs cleansing.
Cleanse the tourism board.
I believe they're possessed.
What have I done?
All right, so looking at the time, we need to wrap things up. Do you guys want to do some epilogues? Tell me what happens to your characters after this harrowing encounter at the Mimc Cafe.
Okay, I'll start. So, I've been collecting body parts so that I could study them and better understand my healing magic, but also I've slowly collected enough parts that I might be able to Frankenstein a monster. And after seeing this magic in the Mimic Cafe, I am starting to explore the possibilities of reanimating and bringing people back to life in new ways. So maybe going down a darker path, but still continuing to study and always in the pursuit of knowledge. You guys might end up seeing me with like an undead boyfriend. I don't know.
I after obtaining my entrepreneurial badge, putting it on my vest, and demonologist badge minor. It's a smaller one, not quite as big as what Cleve would have. I take the Sturges inside of me, training them for various jobs if possible. And if I can't, I'll release them into wilds that I find appropriate. and hopefully they don't wreck the ecosystem. Other than that, I'm just trying out like new things all the time, trying to get more badges, self-proclamations of attaining abilities and skills, trying to keep on with more jobs, and yeah, maybe randomly make a little candy company with the funds that I get from all this money and call it Dr. Haribo's Gummy Bears.
Huh.
Adorable.
I'm down at the bar getting drunk with Breath and the captain. After hours, I wait for the cafe to close, and I'm still hanging out. And I'm investigating what it's like to be undead. talking to Vreth.
With Reth, it's mostly him bouncing jokes off you.
They get progressively funnier through the night to me.
He's got about 45 minutes. He needs to get down to 35. He needs a tight 35.
I help him workshop, and then I tell him that he there's a real mess at room 12. He should probably clean up. We didn't do it.
A zombie stand-up comedian. That's great. Oh, Cleve definitely takes his newly found demonology skill and his blood-bending magic and exorcises all the demons out of the tourism board and any other corruption in town. He just goes around town just, looking for demons to exorcise.
He's become a man of the faith.
And Cleve, you cleanse the tourism board of their sins, leaving behind a bloody mess. But Grace gets her permits soon after the following spring. And she finds investors and starts her land crawler business. Meanwhile, Kristoff, free of the bloody bearded devils, is able to get the limbs out of his basement and sleep once more, knowing that he's not indebted to these bearded devils, and also knowing that there's not a demon lurking around his cafe trying to free the mimics and sow chaos. And the wheel turns. The people of Tyradon go about their lives. Any parting words?
I'm just happy I got to finally play a gummy bear.
That was great.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. This was awesome. This was the Mimc Cafe. It's written for 5e. You can get it on the DMs Guild. And thank everybody for playing. Let's say goodbye. I'm GM Jim.
I'm Brad Wolf from Direden.
Ryan Doyle, Vertigo Table.
Angie Ferna, Art of Angela.
Dr. Haribo. No, Mike, MVR. See you later.
Mike's so method. All right, I'm going to hit the button.